We often talk about changing our lives, whether with small things like having a new haircut or setting your ex-partner's car on fire, or bigger ones, such as moving to a new country and starting a new religion. But no matter how big or small those life changes are, it is usually those least expected that come to life. In the back of my mind, I always had this idea of going traveling along the west coast of the American continent. For many obvious reasons, traveling for extensive amount of time didn't quite fit my schedule, so I didn't think too much of it. But then, one day, somehow, I ended up in San Francisco, on a ship. I don't know about you guys, but as soon as I start feeling comfortable, as soon as I start feeling that everything's going right and I feel stable, I need to break out and do something completely different, completely outrageous. It is scary, but otherwise I feel like I would go crazy. So here I am, traveling on a boat for the next 4 months. Hope it makes sense. Next stop, Vancouver. And so the adventure has begun. But first let me tell you something about human brain. You see, when you make a decision that has some significance in your life, your mind tends to respond to it in a certain way. First comes instant regret and panic. Then you slowly begin to realize potential of opportunities that's in front of you, and then you just happy. You feel invincible, and that's when you do something stupid like cliff jumping, or you go for a plane ride with drunk pilot, which brings me to the next part of the story. So, we can't have our drone here, obviously, so the only way how to see some beautiful footage of Vancouver is to actually take a plane. Okay, the pilot wasn't drunk, it might have been me, but the point is, initially every big decision feels wrong and terrifying. You know what else feels wrong and terrifying? Being 500 meters above Vancouver with 4 liters of beer in your bladder. That, my friend, is living on the edge. And it's also the most inappropriate way of wetting yourself, which totally didn't happen that day. What I personally love about traveling in a ship is that you have a very limited time to see stuff, so you prioritize. One day you're in one place and 8 p.m. you're sailing away, the next day you're somewhere completely else, and you have to know what you want to see and where you want to go. Or else you just spend your day in the closest Starbucks scavenging for the internet, procrastinating your life away. Your best friends in those situations? Planning and efficiency, baby. Where are we going?
Starbucks. The first Starbucks we have.
Okay, the rules are slightly different when it comes to the first Starbucks on the planet. Obviously, we're heading there to procrastinate, because this was a purely explorative expedition, and because their Wi-Fi sucked. Okay, we just found the first Starbucks. What? There's this humongous queue. My parents often remind me of how lucky I am to be born in this day and age when traveling is just so accessible. Both of them were born in post-communistic regime when such things were pretty much off limits. And our next stop will be, and I guess there's nothing off limits for us. Every part of Canada we visited on our trip was beautiful. This is one of those places where you just don't want to leave. Therese, what do you have?
Toffee apple.
What's that?
It's an apple with toffee, but this one's got cheesecake.
So it's like a cheesecake apple.
Cheesecake apple.
But no matter how beautiful those places were, once again, it was the time pressure that kept us moving. We had to see more and go further. We often talk about changing our lives, but somehow come up with thousands of excuses of why not to do so. As one wise man said, I regret things I haven't done more than things I have done. In other words, no one knows what's in there for us in the future. And once you accept that, there'll be nothing left to regret.